What's up YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. It's been roughly 6 months since I put in the dual battery system in the Land Cruiser, and I've gotten a lot of comments and also questions on Instagram regarding how that battery system is holding up. So in response to those comments and questions, here is my 6 months review on my cheap dual battery system in the Land Cruiser. In this video, I'm going to briefly go over how the dual battery system works, what I like about it, what I would change, what I'm gonna add in the near future, and why you would need one if you plan to take your rig off the grid. So let's take a quick look at the engine bay of my Land Cruiser, and at a glance, you really can't tell that it has a dual battery system installed. Obviously, we've got the original starter battery right here, the main battery. We've got one cable going off the main battery into the isolator, which is down there. Then I have some cables run down here, which you can't see, into the bracket, and then of course the second battery right here. So I'm not a pro at wiring by any means, but I try to do as nice of a job as I could to where you really can't tell where the wiring is. It's nice and clean and tucked away. Under here you can see I have the mil-spec terminals with the crimps. Same thing with the positive end. The cables are all wrapped in this nice, I don't know what this is, this braided mesh thing. Got fuses. The bigger fuse box is down here. If you want to see a detailed video of the dual battery install, I will leave a link in the description down below, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with the dual battery system differences, let me briefly explain. This is your regular battery, so this is considered the main battery, and it basically starts your engine. It cranks the starter, hence your engine starts up. Then once your engine starts up, the alternator charges this battery and keeps it full. This battery also powers your headlights. You've got all the accessories inside the car that came stock, which is usually fine. The problem with a single battery system is when you start adding a lot of accessories and a lot of load to the original crank battery, such as a fridge, a compressor, extra lights, you risk the chance of draining your starter battery, your main battery. So in turn, let's say like you drain the battery, it won't have enough juice to crank the starter to start the engine in the morning once you're done with camping. To remedy the starter battery from draining, obviously you need to add the secondary battery. When I added the secondary battery, I had all the added accessories draining from this battery only. So I've got the lights, the compressor, the fridge, all hooked up to this secondary battery. Having just a secondary battery hooked up to the primary battery, the main battery, is actually not enough, because in theory, if you have it hooked up directly, obviously you want it fused and all that, the alternator will charge your main battery and it will charge the secondary battery. Since you have the main battery directly hooked up to the secondary battery, when you use the accessories such as your lights, your fridge, your compressor, whatever, it will start draining from the secondary battery and also drain the primary battery, which is kind of not what you want. So you will need some sort of break or an isolator in this case to separate the main battery from the secondary battery. And that isolator is installed right here. This is an isolator from Red Arc. You can't really see it too much. It's actually pretty small. But basically what it does is when it senses the voltage drop from the secondary battery to a certain level, I believe it's 12.7 or 12.5, it basically breaks the connection between the secondary battery and the main battery. So this guy will stay charged, ready to go in the morning when you need the car to start. Whereas the secondary battery will be powering all the accessories such as my fridge, my lights, all that stuff that I used during the night. So in the morning when you're ready to go, the main battery will send power to the starter and crank the engine over, and once the alternator starts spinning, the isolator, which is this guy down here, will sense that, hey, the alternator's spinning, the engine started. We are going to link the two batteries back together again, so both of them will charge back up to full capacity. So that is a very basic explanation on how the dual battery system works. If you're enjoying this video so far, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. So what do I like about the dual battery systems besides the obvious benefits of it not running the main battery dry and leaving you stranded? Well, there's actually one really good reason why I like this setup, is because it is completely automated. And that is thanks to this little isolator that I got off of Red Arc. There are no buttons to push, nothing to plug in, nothing to keep an eye on. This little guy basically makes sure that both the main battery and the secondary battery are fully charged when I drive the Land Cruiser around. Let me give you a quick example on why I like running the dual battery system. Usually, the night before camping, I like to prime the fridge. Basically, it means running the fridge overnight to get it nice and cold, ready to hold your drinks, your food, your snacks, whatever. With the single battery setup, I didn't want the chance to drain the main battery, so what I'd have to do is run an extension cord all the way from the house to the back of the Land Cruiser and power the fridge like that. With the dual battery system installed, when I need to prime the fridge, all I do is turn on the fridge in the Land Cruiser and it will draw power from the secondary battery. When it comes time to start the car in the morning, the main battery will be completely full and it will start no problem. While I'm driving up there, the alternator will charge the secondary battery back up to full capacity. Much easier. What I would change about this setup. So the one thing that I would like to change would be switching the batteries to AGM. If you guys have been paying attention, you'll notice both of my batteries, the primary battery, the main battery, and the secondary battery are both just regular lead acid batteries. Now there is a reason behind the madness. Basically, on the 99 Land Cruisers, the alternator, which is somewhere down here, is a regular alternator, as opposed to a smart alternator, which varies the voltage of charge when you're on the freeway to save gas. Now, on these old ones, they just charge regardless. If you're idling, if you're on the freeway, it doesn't want to save gas. It doesn't care. Because the alternator is an old school alternator, you can run the old school isolator. What, you might ask, does that have to do with using AGM batteries? Well, for AGM batteries, you actually need a special type of charger, which is a DC to DC charger, to fully charge the AGM batteries and prolong its life. If you just charge it off of the alternator like you do with these lead acid batteries, they don't fully charge. So what that does is obviously the amount of charge it holds goes down, but also it shortens the life of the AGM. And if you've been looking, the AGM batteries are a whole lot more expensive than the regular lead acid batteries. I would definitely like to upgrade to the AGM secondary battery, so that way it'll hold more charge. However, if I do that, I'm gonna have to buy a more expensive battery and also an expensive DC to DC battery charger. Next is what I would like to add to the dual battery system. So far I've added the lights, the fridge, the air compressor, and the CB radio that draw off of the secondary battery. The next thing that I wanna add on the Land Cruiser, which I think will help as far as going off the grid goes, is a power inverter. So that way, if I need to, I can plug in my laptop, which has a regular house plug, a 110 volt, and charge that up. I can charge up the drone if I need to, or I don't know, if I get one strong enough, I might bring a microwave along and have hot pockets on the trail. Lastly, should you invest in a dual battery system for your vehicle? Now, that's kind of a tough question. It really depends on how you plan to use it. A lot of people, when they go camping, they like to bring, I don't know, TVs along with gaming consoles and projectors and extra decorative lights, all that type of stuff. Then yeah, sure, you probably need the extra power. For me, however, I personally like to keep it as simple as possible. Maybe bring a tent, some sleeping bags, I don't know, a gas grill for cooking food, and that's pretty much about it. With that being said, having the added insurance of the secondary battery, making sure the Land Cruiser will start in the morning, regardless if I run the fridge all night or have the lights on or whatever, I think is actually worth it. Plus, if I ever add a winch to the front of the Land Cruiser, I can power the winch with both batteries. So that way, regardless how stuck I get, I should have enough juice to pull myself out. So, was it worth it? Was the dual battery system worth the extra $500-600 in cost? and the, you know, I don't know, 2 days that I spent putting it in. In a word, yes, I do like running the dual battery system in the Land Cruiser, so whenever I go off the grid, I will have enough juice to run all of my accessories for the whole weekend without having to worry if the Land Cruiser will start in the morning. What do you guys think? Would you spend the extra $500-600 to add a secondary battery to your rig? If you already have a dual battery system installed in your rig, what do you like and dislike about it? Drop a comment down below. I'll be leaving a link to all the parts that I used for the dual battery system in the description down below, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, and for more Land Cruiser and Overland content, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.